Well, and people around the country not only protesting the shooting of Jacob Blake, but are mourning the loss of the two individuals shot by 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse at a protest in Wisconsin. Our Marissa Cummings is live this morning to tell us about the case and what we can learn from it locally. Marissa?
Yes, Brian. So I spoke with Matt Manning. He's the former first assistant district attorney for Nueces County. He's dealt with higher profile cases and would have a little bit more insight than the average person on a case like this. And so I asked him, how this case could play out legally and, of course, what we can learn from it and attribute here locally. Take a look at what he had to say. What do you know about how police immediately responded to the armed 17-year-old, and do you think it was appropriate?
There's not enough information in the video and in the vantage points that you see in the video to know what officers may have known. If they had certain knowledge, completely inappropriate. If they didn't have such knowledge, then it may explain why there wasn't an immediate arrest if they had no idea as to the context of why he was approaching them that way, and if they did not hear the onlookers.
Since Kyle Rittenhouse has been charged with 6 counts, 1 including the first-degree intentional homicide. You don't have to break down all the different counts and charges, but what could this mean for him?
Basically, what he's looking at is up to life in prison for the people who were killed, by virtue of his use of deadly force. You didn't ask this question, but to kind of answer a question that's important for people to know, or the question that people may have is, this case is going to be very interesting as it relates to the juxtaposition of self-defense and defense of third person. The reason this is going to be an interesting question, though, is because Wisconsin, like Texas, also has a defense of third person statute. And if the people there were attacking him had seen him attack other people and believed he was committing unlawful conduct, you may have people who were attacking him and had a legal right to do so.
Does Corpus Christi have the tools in place to make sure shootings like this don't happen here?
I think they have the mechanisms, and I think they have the desire to get it right, because I don't think any officer necessarily wants to go out and shoot somebody. But the question is, do we have the mechanism to really review fully what happens and determine what should happen, even if it seems to slip through the cracks of criminal liability or civil liability?